Hey budget gardeners, Vita Loca here. Guess what? It's that time of year to collect flower seeds. I'm going to show you how to do it. So let's go. As you know, I am a budget gardener. I am all about saving money. However, I do like to support our local nurseries. I do like to buy plants from them. But when it comes to filling out my flower beds to the extent that I want to fill them out, there is no way I could afford to buy all of those plants, especially annuals. I love annuals. They give a lot of color all season long, but I also like perennials because they come back year after year. So I'm going to show you in this series of videos how to go about collecting your own flower seeds, what we're looking for to make sure that those seeds are ripe, how to dry them, how to store them, and then finally, come late winter, early spring, how to go about starting those seeds, be it indoors under grow lights or outdoors using the winter sowing method. And before we get started, if you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to this channel and also to hit the notification bell so that you are notified every time I post a new video. And remember, anytime you subscribe to anyone's YouTube channel and also hit the notification bell, it's free to you, but it definitely helps us out when we're making our videos. So let's get started with the first plant we're going to pick our seeds from. The first plant that I've chosen for us to collect seeds from is the wax begonia. What I love about the wax begonia is that it blooms from spring through summer into the fall. It provides a lot of interest in the garden. There are all different types of wax begonia out there. There are different colors of flowers. There are pink ones, some white ones, red ones, but then there are also different shades for the leaves. There are ones that have a dark, vibrant green, and there are also ones that have more of a reddish color leaf to them. There are taller varieties of wax begonia, and there are shorter varieties of wax begonia. I'm going to take you in for a closer look to show you what we're looking for when we're collecting our seeds. Worth mentioning, on a wax begonia, you have both male as well as female flowers on here. Here's an example of a male flower, and I want you to notice the back of it. And when it comes to the female flowers, the back of it looks kind of like this right here. And this is an example of a pod that I don't want to collect yet. It is telling this plant to start producing seeds, but this pod is not ready. It is not ripe. What you're looking for is a seed pod that is very dry and almost papery. Here's an example right here. And what I will be doing is collecting a few of these, and I'm going to put them on a paper towel, and I'm going to label the paper towel with the color of the flowers on this wax begonia, the colors of the leaves, and I'm basically going to state that this is a taller variety of wax begonia. I don't know what variety it is. It's just one that's a more common one that did not have a name to it. So we're just going to go based on a few of the characteristics of this plant. Look at all the seed pods I collected off of this one plant. One thing to keep in mind is you don't want to be doing this process when it's a very windy day. You don't want your seeds to be flying all over the place. Typically what I like to do when I collect seeds is put them on a paper towel, but because these seeds are very, very small, I'm actually going to put them on a piece of paper to dry, and then I'm going to go ahead and put some information on that paper that shows the characteristics of this plant. I've gone ahead and put a dime here just to show you, in reference to a dime, how big the seed pods are as well as the seeds. And I wasn't kidding when I said that these seeds are almost like fine dust particles. So what I like to do is I like to put down some characteristics of the plant. So I know it's a wax begonia. I know that it's light pink. It's definitely a taller variety of a wax begonia. And the leaf is a green colored leaf. And then finally, I like to put the date that I collected the seeds. And what I plan on doing is I plan on opening up each of these seed pods and releasing the seeds and I'll bring you inside because I don't want to do that process outside, and I'll show you what I plan on doing from there. So when it comes to the seeds, you can see again, compared to my finger, there are thousands of seeds here. Do I really need that many? Probably not, but I'd rather have more than less. So what you want to do is you want to just break open seed pod like that. And some of them will have more seeds than others. You just want to shake it. I think this one might be a good one that might have a lot of seeds in it. Let's see. It's a pretty simple process. What I like to do when I have gone through and opened up each of these seed pods is I like to just let everything dry for a day or two. That's what I was looking for. That one had a ton in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to discard all of these. I'm going to let the seeds dry for a few days, and I'm going to show you how I store them during the winter. I have these little Ziploc bags that I bought on Amazon. And what I did was label it with the important information that I want to have on this bag. And I also even put the year on there. So September 10th, 2023 is when I collected the seeds. I'm going to let them sit in here for a few days to dry. And after they're done drying, what I'm going to do is this will get thrown away, as I mentioned. And right here are the seeds. So what I will do in a few days is I will take this piece of paper, I will fold it in half, and it will make it a lot easier then for the seeds to trickle off of the paper and into this Ziploc bag. And then what I do is I have a system where I store all of my seeds. I can definitely show that in a future video. When it comes to collecting seeds, just be creative. Collect seeds from your own gardens. Collect seeds from neighbors, family, friends' gardens. There are lots of different plants that do go to seed, and it's okay to collect the seeds from them. Just keep in mind that when you're collecting flower seeds, the plant that grows might not be true to the parent plant that you collected the seeds from. And I personally am okay with that. I think it's fun. I like to be creative. I just like to see what happens when I collected seeds and what kind of plant grew from it. For example, check out all these impatiens. I've been collecting seeds from my own impatiens for years, and they just end up being a mix of different colors. I might end up having one that's a purplish pink color, one that's a very pink color, or one that's a little bit in between and it's on the lighter side. I think that's fun. I like the variety. So keep that in mind when you're collecting your own seeds. I have had luck growing plants from seed, and I want to share that with you. The list is extensive. So again, part of the series will just be me going through my gardens and other people's gardens, collecting seed and showing you how to do it. My goal is to keep the videos fairly short, but very instructional so that you can see exactly what I'm doing. Here is another example of another wax begonia that I have growing in my yard. And you can see this is an example of one of the male flowers. And then these are examples of female flowers that have gone by and are starting to go to seed. But again, these are not ready for me to pick yet. They're not ripe yet. And what I'm looking for is the papery looking seed pod. So here is one right here. I can go ahead and pull that off. I'm going to go ahead and go through this entire plant and pick off all the seed pods that I can find that are ready and ripe at this time. I got a lot of seeds off of that one begonia plant. I prefer to take more seed pods off than less because you just never know when you sow some plants and maybe you don't have a lot of luck with that first batch. You want to re-sow those seeds. It's good to have the supply on hand. So I am all about collecting more seeds than I might need. And when it comes to storing your seeds, you want to make sure you keep them in a cool, dry place. A lot of times people will store them in their refrigerator if they have the space. Although honestly, I've had a lot of luck just storing them just off of my kitchen area. I tend to use a lot of my seeds within a year or two anyway. When it comes to what I'm doing right now with this step, it is optional if you want to just let the seed pods dry out and then do this step here afterwards, you could do that. But for the demonstration purposes of this video, I also wanted to just show you how I'm going about opening each pod up and releasing the seeds from it. So far, we've collected a lot of seeds here. One thing you can also do during the midsummer, late summer, or even early fall is go to your local nursery and shop the clearance section. That's what I've done before, and it really works out well. You might find a plant this size or even this size marked down for very cheap, possibly $1. Go ahead and buy that and start collecting the seeds off of that plant. It's such a cheap way to collect seeds, and it gets you a plant that you want, and then you can have hundreds of that same type of plant in your own garden. It feels like Christmas time, just collecting all these seeds, and they're like presents for me. And they really are the gift that keeps on giving. If you collect the seeds from plants year after year, you really can build your stock of seeds and free plants in your yard. I hope you enjoyed this video, and remember to keep following along with my future videos so I show you how to collect seeds from other plants, both annuals as well as perennials. Until the next video, make it a great day with gardening.